everybody. Welcome back to the Hype Mind. Today we're talking about unemployment. Daniel, want to kick off?
And how it can be a safety net. And it's a safety net. And it comes off with good intentions, right? The good intention is that when you get let go from your job, that you have another source of income coming in. But the thing is, has it been effective? And has it actually increased progress? Or in reality, has it actually decreased progress?
Yeah. So the benefit of unemployment, obviously, is if you lose your job, then, I mean, yippee, you have money coming in. It is that safety net. It is it's a last resort. It's a backup option. Which is good. But the downside is a lot of people, I think, get stuck there. They get comfortable. They're like, ooh, well, hey, free money that I don't have to work for. Like, bring it on. And that's not what it's meant to be. I'll share a story real quick. I knew a girl who, she was really cool. She's a really cool person. I liked spending time with her and everything. But like, she would work on the side under the table, and the whole time she would collect unemployment. And I was like, I can't associate with you. Like, that's really low. That's not the purpose of unemployment. There's people paying taxes who are paying your bills because you would like the free paycheck. And that's not what it's made for. It's made for the people who lost their job unexpectedly last minute and need money. They have a family, or they have their own needs, or they have rent to pay for. And, it's like, oh man, find myself in a tight spot, in a pinch of a moment when I didn't plan on that. Hey, bring on the, let me get some unemployment to cover my ass for a couple weeks while I get myself back up on my feet, the ball rolling. Maybe it takes a month to get back to work, to find a new job, to get better again. Maybe you were really sick and they fired you or something, right? Whatever the case is, it's meant to cover your back in extreme situations. It's not meant to be taken advantage of like that.
Right. No, not at all. But like many systems, people I'll find a way to take advantage of those systems. But also, it's like, if someone, there's a good intention behind it, but if you're not already preparing for, hey, I may lose my job, or hey, I may not afford next month's rent. It's like there's responsibility behind that too, in being like, hey, if I have a backup plan already, right? Instead of having unemployment be your backup plan, have your own backup plan. It's much more rewarding too. And then you start, then it's like rewarding for, you don't want to reward someone for, let's say, bad behavior. If your kid keeps, eating unhealthy food, you don't reward them with more unhealthy food. You want to reward the good things. And it's like if I'm sitting here and I'm getting paid for it, what are you saying? It's a good thing.
Yeah, I definitely agree with the fact that, like, if you have a job and you think you might get fired, or you might get fired, or you don't want to be doing it anymore, then you should be lining up your next job. And like, in my eyes, unemployment is it's there as a last resort. Like, oh, I didn't see my boss firing me this month. I didn't know that was going to happen, and now I just got laid off because the economy crashed or something. So, like the Great Depression type of thing. Like, boom, you find yourself jobless on the spur of a moment because of something drastic. And it doesn't have to be the Great Depression. It could be anything, or you could have gotten sick, whatever. It's a last resort. And on top of that, unemployment is specifically a temporary solution. It is not a permanent solution. It is, I'm in unemployment. It's covering my back right now, but it shouldn't be covering it for long. What can I do to get out of that place? How can I find employment and get back in the workforce and make my own money instead of having free handouts? Free handouts are great. I mean, who the heck doesn't want a free handout for the rest of their life? But there's so much evil associated with that, so much laziness, so much selfishness, um, at the stake of other people's hard works, because money isn't free, nothing's free. Someone is paying the price. So don't delude yourself into thinking that it's just free money from the government. It's like, no, it's not. Government gets their money somewhere. So
Right. But now has it, my question is, would it be better without it? Because then you get rid of the safety net. And without a safety net, the nice thing about no safety net is there's a fire under your butt.
yeah.
And you have to get moving. And it's like the sink or the swim. And guys, most people swim. They're not going to sink. If there's a will, there's a way.
Right.
And even in other scenarios, even not talking about like unemployment and stuff like that, if there's no safety net for you, it's like you have your inspiration has leverage. And you have a much better work ethic, and you're so much more focused. So it's like, has it even been effective? Safety nets have been effective.
I definitely think, like, we probably both concur on this. Like, you don't need unemployment. Like, if we eliminated it, people would be fine. I mean, they wouldn't, but they would have the potential to be fine. They wouldn't be fine because there's a lot of people who won't push themselves and seek better, but they are capable of being fine if they want to. Like you're talking about, you lose your job, well, now you have a fire under your butt. It's like, hey, if I don't find another job right now, then I lose my house, my family starves, I might die of hunger or of whatever,
right. And just knowing that you have no safety net, it's kind of like, wait, I need to save up just in case I lose my job. I need a backup plan. I need to develop another skill. So if I lose this career, I can go right into something else. I
need to set myself up for the future.
Exactly. And being valuable, really being valuable. Because like money and wealth can vanish, right? And always change. But skills, you always have your skills.
And like, it has its benefits. Unemployment, like, it's inherently good, but like, it has really big downsides. Right. And it's really not necessary. I definitely respect the fact that it exists. That's cool, because like, I know myself, like, if I ran out of a job tomorrow, no matter how much I did to line myself up for success, even if I knew I could find myself new work within a week, it's still cool to know that should something fall through and I break my leg and can't work, and I got unemployment, but like, it's not necessary, and I think when people give into that mindset of they need it, that's when you're in a dangerous place.
Right.
Because you might take advantage of it, and it wasn't meant for that. It wasn't meant to be taken advantage of. And that's definitely something that is happening on a large scale. Hey, I have this option to be lazy. Why would I not be lazy? It's like, well, because morally it's not okay. Other people are paying the price that you should be paying. Other people are carrying your weight. And most people can concur that that's definitely not morally good.
Right. And think about this for a second too, because without unemployment, what would happen? So what would usually happen is your support system would come in, and your support system was probably your family, right? And you kind of help each other out, right?
It's definitely scarier. It's
what is scarier?
It's not having that safety net, but like you're saying, there's so many goods to it. You do plan for the future. You do save money. You do line up another job on the outside, or have a plan B should you decide to quit or get fired or lose interest in your job. you do decide to, develop other skills in life, you do find out who your real friends are because, is
Mhm.
your family going to support you if this stuff goes down? Who's going to be there for you? Is it
Absolutely.
just going to be you? And a lot of times it is just one person. Our society is pretty broken and divided right now, and a lot of people don't get along with their family. They don't have good friends. They don't have friends who have money. Like, fine, but the unique thing is there's always a way, especially if there's a will. And two, people come together in the hardest of times when there is literally nothing. So,
Yes.
if you're
Uh-huh.
concerned that you're going to crash and burn because you lost your job, you're definitely, you got to have a little more faith in yourself, to put it politely, and encouragingly. You have to know that maybe you don't have any friends who are going to come to your rescue, but there is someone who's going to say that person needs help. I'll help them. So
No, that may build relationships, especially with your family too. Being like, hey, if something happens to you, I have your back. Like you have a place to stay, or vice versa. You know, they're telling you, hey, if something happens to you, like come stay with us. I mean, that does happen. That still happens. People lose their jobs and they stay with their family.
yeah.
But I'm just saying, it's like, hey, now you value your relationship so much more because you can help each other. And you're not relying on a system that's there to help you.
So let's conclude with this. The superior individual, right? The person who's going to seek the extraordinary and who's not going to be mediocre, they are going to set themselves up in life to not even ever glance at unemployment. They're not going to ever think they need it. They're going to know themselves and trust themselves. They're going to have a good support system because they're going to take the time to build one. They're going to have a good job that's not going to fire them on, last minute. And if the job does, they're also going to have, something, maybe not money, but something saved up for that, some backup resource, like the food for, when the apocalypse occurs or whatever. And they're also going to be, um, they're also going to have a plan B. They're going to be working on themselves. They're going to be working on skills, new skills, the skills they already have. They're going to be setting up possible potential future jobs. So the superior person isn't going to even give a crap that unemployment money exists. Like, they don't need that. They know they don't need that. They're going to get fired and they're going to be like, whatever, dude, like in 2 weeks, I'll be back on the road. Like, I'm
Yeah.
not going to stop. So,
And they're going to set themselves up for success, being like, hey,
yep.
I'm not
Mindset, people.
I'm not going to have a safety net, because if I have a safety net, then I can just rely on it. But if I take away my safety net, then I have to succeed. I have to swim. So
And they understand that that's like a really, that's a less one, it's a super last resort. Like when I say last, I mean last, like so far down the line of last that you can't even see it. And two, it's just it's such a mediocre, like bland, lukewarm safety net. It's not one you want. When you really think about it, you're like, do I really want to be taking money for free from someone else? Not really. Especially knowing that, like, people on my own level worked to put that money there to be available for people who really need it. It's like, yeah, I really wouldn't want people to use it unless they absolutely had to, you know, and it's definitely getting abused. So that having that just successful mindset of being the best person and the best version of yourself that you can be, and that definitely comes into play in terms of this.
having that successful mindset.
Yep.
All right, guys.
Strive for the extraordinary, folks. Thanks. Peace.